Hello and welcome, dear friends. Today I'll talk about the placement of Saturn in the first house of your chart. What results you can expect and what remedies you should do. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So friends, you can see that in this chart Saturn is in the first house. What is Saturn? In brief, Saturn is a planet of justice. Saturn is considered to be exalted in Libra and debilitated in Aries. Its own sign is Capricorn and its Mool Trikon sign is Aquarius. Saturn is also considered to be an airy element planet mainly because its Mool Trikon sign Aquarius is an airy sign. Now Saturn is also the significator of sorrow, of death and longevity. It is the significator of chronic diseases, of obstacles in life. Saturn is also the significator of justice, of reward and punishment both. So Saturn is also the significator of discipline, of even in metal, of metals, especially iron and lead. Then Saturn also is the significator of hard work, being hardworking, and also punctuality. Saturn also is the significator of law. Saturn is also the significator of secrecy and darkness. So friends, what results can you expect if Saturn is in the first house? In Bhrigu Nandi Nadi astrology, we believe that Saturn has certain aspects. A planet has certain aspects. What are those aspects? A planet has first aspect, second aspect, third aspect, fifth aspect, seventh aspect, ninth aspect, 11th aspect and 12th aspect. In the case of Saturn, we will also consider the 10th aspect. 10th aspect is also very important, only in the case of Saturn. So friends, let's see what we can say. Now friends, in the very beginning, we have to remember that in Nadi astrology, we give a lot of importance to the Kalpurush chart or the Kalpurush Kundli, or you can say the chart of the cosmic man. So in the first house, in the chart of the Kalpurush, we have the Aries sign. So the first house is ruled by actually Lord Mars, planet Mars. And the significator of the first house is actually Sun. And we know that both Mars and Sun, they are enemies to Saturn. Both of them. So now Saturn is in their house in a way. So Saturn is a little uncomfortable and will be considered to be somewhat weak if Saturn is in the first house. We also have to look at the sign in which Saturn is placed. Which sign Saturn is placed in and where is the lord of that sign in your chart. In which nakshatra Saturn is placed and where is the lord of that nakshatra in the chart. Which planets are aspecting Saturn. So all these things also will decide the position of or the strength of Saturn. Now friends, we have to look at the aspects. Now Saturn has first aspect obviously. What is the first aspect? That is wherever Saturn is sitting, say Saturn is in the first house, then the first aspect will fall on the first house only. So here any planet also may be there with Saturn in conjunction, or Saturn may be alone, but Saturn will have full aspect on that first house where Saturn is sitting. First house is the house of our personality, our body, mind and soul. So Saturn will now influence your entire personality. The way you think, yes, even your body, maybe the way you dress also, yes. So this person who has Saturn in the first house, he will also look very disciplined because Saturn is the planet of discipline. Yes, he may not believe, he may not. We also have to look at other planetary aspects and conditions. We have to look at the entire chart. But in general, friends, whatever results I am giving you, they are general results. Okay. So generally, but yes, exceptions will be there depending on the individual chart. So generally we may say that he will be a person who is not very interested in being fashionable or in looking fashionable. Yes, we can say that. Then he will be somebody who will be a little old fashioned also, we can say. Or we can say he will be someone who loves, archaic things of the past. He will love that. Yes, because that will, or whatever Saturn signifies, that will influence his personality. He will love discipline, punctuality, organization. He will love to be organized and orderly. He will be law abiding, and he will be just, very just. He'll believe in justice. He also may be a person who may be very secretive. He may be secretive. And he may also like to stay alone or aloof. And he may also be in the habit of doubting others. Because Saturn will behave like a judge. A judge will not easily believe, whoever comes to the court and, provides evidence or becomes a witness also. A judge, because here if you have Saturn in the first house, then here Saturn is now behaving like a judge. So the person will have the traits of a judge also in him. So he will be in the habit of even doubting others' intention, yes, doubting, anybody's motives or character. He may look at people with a sense of suspicion. So that may be there. And once he is once he has come to know that the person concerned is reliable, then he will not have any objection. But unless he is sure, he will not actually be friends with the person. He will not trust the person. So that trait a person may have if Saturn is in the first house. Then what else we can say, friends? Saturn also signifies obstacles and delay. So if you have Saturn in the first house, then there may be some delay in your work. You may encounter obstacles along your path. So these you have to overcome, obstacles and delay. But because Saturn is a planet which believes in hard work, so if you consistently go on working hard, then definitely you will get the reward someday. And friends, you also have to now see that, in this, because Saturn is after all in the house of Sun and Mars. So you also have to see, where Sun and Mars, how Sun and Mars are placed. Because as I told you, it is originally the house of Mars, because Aries sign is there in the chart of the Kalpurush. And also the significator is Sun. So you also have to check how Mars and Sun are placed in the chart. Yes, so then also that also will give you an idea about the results that you can expect. Yes, if Mars and Sun, they are aspecting Saturn, and they are having especially the 7th aspect, then anyway they are enemies to Saturn, then there may be some problem. Yes, so we also have to look at Sun and Mars. Now let us go to the second aspect of Saturn. Second aspect will fall obviously on the second house. The second house is the house of your accumulated wealth, your family and speech especially. So Saturn is now aspecting this second house. That means you have to be very careful about your speech, how you speak. Yes, how you deal with your family members. You cannot be unjust to anybody, otherwise Saturn will make you accountable for it. Then what will you do with your accumulated wealth? How are you going to spend it or use it? You have to use it very wisely and properly. Saturn is now aspecting the second house. So all these matters that are connected to the second house, you have to be now very careful about these matters. And in Nadi astrology, we believe that the second aspect is a very powerful aspect, very powerful, because it is just ahead of Saturn. The planet is just before Saturn. No, Saturn is in the first house, and some planet may be there in the second house, or there may not be any planet. At least there will be some zodiac sign, and that house, some planet will be the lord of that house. So that house as a whole will be aspected, no? Because directly Saturn is now watching, and its aspect is falling on the second house. Very powerful aspect. So you have to be very careful about these matters. Now friends, let us go to Saturn's third aspect. In Nadi astrology, that is Bhrigu Nandi Nadi, we believe that the third aspect of Saturn is very important for your profession. Whichever planet is going to sit in the third house, that planet will definitely have a connection with your profession, because Saturn in Nadi astrology is primarily the significator of profession, of your work or karma. So suppose you have Venus in the third house, then your profession may be related to any of the fine arts, or it may be related to beauty, like you may be a beautician, or you may be a singer or dancer, or even you may be related to any kind of fine arts if Venus is there. This is an example. Now friends, third house is the house of our efforts, our courage, hard work. So Saturn is a planet which stands for hard work and efforts also. So that planet is only aspecting now your house of efforts and hard work. So then you have to go on working consistently. You have to work hard consistently on a regular basis, because Saturn also loves routine and regularity. Saturn is a planet which does not like change. It loves routine, it loves regularity. So you have to go on working hard consistently on a regular basis, because it is directly aspecting your third house. If you do so, Saturn will give you good results. Then friends, let us go to the next aspect, that is your and one more thing friends, third house also shows the hand, your hands. So if suppose you have Mercury in the third house, then there is a possibility that the person may be a writer. Yes, you will have to use, or you may be engaged in any kind of handicrafts. Yes, if Mercury is there, or we can say that if Mercury is there, you can also be an astrologer, because even astrology is connected to Mercury. Even Nadi astrology is connected to Venus, because we believe that for studying Nadi astrology, there must be a connection between Saturn and Venus. And Venus should be in its own sign, or it should be in Aquarius. That is considered to be a very good condition for studying Nadi astrology. And Venus and Saturn, they should be connected. So all these things. So whichever planet will sit in the third house, that planet will have some connection. Third house from Saturn will have some connection with your profession. Now let us go to the next aspect of Saturn, that is the fifth aspect. Now friends, you know that the fifth aspect is also called the trinal aspect. So you can see Saturn's fifth aspect is falling here. This is a trinal aspect, and this planet, or this say a planet is there in the fifth house, this planet will now have a ninth aspect on Saturn. Saturn is having a fifth aspect, and suppose there is a planet here, then that planet will have a ninth aspect. So there is a 5-9 relation. This is a trinal relation. Or say if there is no planet here, then there will be some zodiac sign here. So then Saturn's aspect will fall on the fifth house, we can say. Some sign will be there, and so some planet will be the lord of the fifth house, and Saturn will aspect the 5th house. 5th house is also, you can say, the house of education, especially the education that you acquire after school. That is also seen from the 5th house. So Saturn is now aspecting your 5th house. So you can say that your education will be very important. It will be very important for your profession, because the planet of profession is aspecting your education. And also I have seen, friends, this trinal aspect in Nadi astrology, is very important. It will definitely, this aspect will definitely have a say in your profession. It will influence your profession very deeply. Yes, so because this is a trinal aspect, which is very important. It is a very auspicious kind of, conjunction also, it is believed to be. When planets are in trines, so they are also considered to be in conjunction, because they will be aligned towards the same direction also. So they will be considered to be in conjunction actually. And so this is going to be these planets, that are in trines. Say Saturn is having trinal aspect on the planet which is in the 5th house. So or Saturn is aspecting your 5th house. Then what will happen? Now say if there is a planet, then Saturn and that planet, both the planets will influence your profession. Say you have Ketu in the 5th house, then Saturn and Ketu is also related to astrology. This is just one example. Then you may be into astrology, because Ketu also shows astrology. Ketu shows other things also, medicine. Ketu shows even government job. So some connection will be there with your profession. Say you don't have any planet, then 5th house is the house of your creativity, and Saturn is aspecting the house of creativity. So what will happen? You know that Saturn is also restriction. Saturn is a planet that shows restriction. Yes, so maybe you will not be able to express yourself freely, because Saturn is aspecting. That also we can say. And education, house of education. So you may also encounter some obstacles in the path of education. Some delay may be there in acquiring education. And also 5th house is also the house of your, even love relationships. Saturn is aspecting. So there may be some obstacles. You will have to encounter or overcome them in your love life. Yes? Then what else we can say, friends? 5th house. 5th house is also, the house of speculation. And Saturn is aspecting the house of speculation. Yes? So then you have to be very careful about, especially if you are into stocks and shares, if you are connected to the share market and you are, you are into speculation and all, then you have to be very careful. Why? Because Saturn's aspect is there. Saturn's aspect is there. So you are expecting that something will happen, something will, I'm going to gain something. There may be some delay, because Saturn is also the planet of delay. Yes, so you need to be very careful. So friends, now let us go to, the next aspect of Saturn. The next aspect is Saturn's 7th aspect. As you can see, friends, Saturn's 7th aspect will fall on your house of marriage. 7th house is the house of marital life, conjugal life. So because Saturn's aspect is falling, there may be some delay in marriage. Yes, this is a possibility. And friends, I'm giving you general possibilities. It is not that it will happen. We have to look at the particular chart. But generally, these things are seen. So if Saturn's aspect is falling, then you may like somebody who is older than you in age, if Saturn's aspect is falling on the 7th house. That also may be there. Or you can say that you will be very disciplined and organized even in your marital life, and you will give a lot of importance to duty in your marital life, in the marital relationship. The duty part, you will give a lot of emphasis on that. That yes, I have got married, this is my duty, and I have to, shoulder my responsibilities. So Saturn will make you very responsible. That also we can say. if Saturn's aspect is there. You may not be that fun loving, and you may not be that playful, in your marital relationship. You may be more dutiful, because Saturn makes you duty bound. That also we can say. Then friends, 7th house is also the house of independent business. Yes. So we can say that Saturn is aspecting your 7th house of independent business. So you have to now be very careful in starting a business, because Saturn's direct aspect is there. Yes, if you have started a business, you need to work hard, otherwise that business will not give you much gain, because Saturn is now directly aspecting. You will expect something from your independent business, because 7th house is also the 10th from the 10th house. 10th house is the house of profession. So 7th house is 10th from the 10th house. So it is also the house of profession in a way, 7th house. So Saturn is aspecting. So you also need to be very, very hardworking and organized, because Saturn is aspecting also the 7th house, which is also the house of your business or profession. How you deal with the world. Yes. So that is, first house is the house of, this is your personal life, and 7th house actually is your public life also. Yes. This is your personality, and this is how you are going to face the world. 7th house shows that also. So you have to be very careful in dealing with people. Next let us go to Saturn's next aspect, that is Saturn's 9th aspect. Saturn's 9th aspect here will fall on the 9th house only. 9th house is the house of religion, duty. Yes, 9th house is the house of your religious orientation, your spiritual knowledge also, spiritual wisdom, the house of your father. It is also said to be the house of God. Now Saturn is aspecting your 9th house. So 9th house is also the house of your fortune and luck. So there may be some obstacles in your fortune, like in attaining good fortune. You will encounter some obstacles, because Saturn is aspecting the 9th house now. So you will have to overcome all, because Saturn is a planet that will always test you. Saturn is there to test you, test your patience, test your level of perseverance, tolerance. Saturn will test you. If you can pass the test, then Saturn will reward you in due course of time. So you will see that your luck always may not favor you, because Saturn is aspecting, there will be some delay. So all these things you can see. And Saturn is also a planet of secrecy. So we can say that a person may not like to reveal his or her religious orientation, what actually his religious beliefs or religious philosophy. He may not like to discuss that. It may be something very personal. He may keep it to himself, because Saturn is also the planet of secrecy. That also we can say. And because Saturn's aspect is falling on the 9th house, friends, you need to maintain a good relationship with your father. That is a very good remedy. You need to maintain a good relationship with your father. Yes, because Saturn's aspect is also on the 9th house. 9th house is also the house of your father. Now next let us go to your next aspect of Saturn. Saturn also has 10th aspect. This particular aspect of Saturn is considered to be very important for your profession. It will decide your profession actually, because 10th aspect is the aspect which is connected to your profession. Whichever planet is there in the 10th house, it will definitely have a say in your profession. And 10th house is also the house of your karma, workplace, your work, profession. It is the house of your status, social status, reputation. So Saturn wants you to be very organized, to be hardworking, at your workplace. If you are working hard, if you are, doing your duty well, then definitely Saturn will give you good results, and Saturn is aspecting the house of profession. So such people, generally it is seen that Saturn is in the first house, then these people are very organized in their professional life. They are very organized. They like, to be systematic and methodical, because Saturn's 10th aspect is falling on the house of profession. That also we can say. And friends, just now I talked about Saturn's 9th aspect, no? That is also a trinal aspect actually, because Saturn will have 9th aspect, 159, no? They are the trine, they are the dharm trine. Okay, 159 in a chart, they are the dharm trine. So Saturn's 9th aspect, no, will also be a trinal aspect, because the planet which is in the 9th house, that planet will have a 5th aspect on Saturn. This, say you have a planet here, then this planet will have a 5th aspect on Saturn. So it will be 5 and 9. So this planet will have a 5th aspect and Saturn will have a 9th aspect. So this is also a trinal relation. It is a very auspicious relation. It will also influence your, life, your profession, yes, your everything, your duty, your religious orientation, everything will be influenced by, planets which are in trines. So it is seen. So the trinal aspect is very, very important. Now friends, 10th aspect I told you, that is again very important for the profession, for your work. And friends, one thing I have to tell you, that Saturn's 5th aspect will fall on the 5th house, no? 5th house is also the house of your child or children. So because Saturn is also a planet of delay, no? So there may be some delay in getting a child, delay in having a child, or in childbirth, there may be some delay. That also we can say. Then friends, let us go to the next aspect, that is Saturn's 11th aspect. In Nadi astrology, we also consider that aspect. Now, as you know friends, the trinal aspect which I talked about just now, that is the 5th aspect and 9th aspect, they are the trinal aspects. The trinal aspects are around 75% strong. Okay, so Saturn's aspect will be like 75% on the planets which are in the trines. And what about the 11th aspect? 11th aspect, the planet, if any planet is sitting, or Saturn will aspect the 11th house, or it will aspect the 11th house. So that aspect will be around 30 to 35% strong. 30 to 35% strong. But it will be there. So whichever planet. Now 11th house is the house of your gains, the house of your income, your social circle, friendships. So how you are gaining money, how you are earning money. Saturn will have an aspect on your 11th house. Even if it is 35% approximately, but aspect is there. Saturn is now, keeping an eye on your 11th house, how you are earning money. So you have to be very careful. That means if Saturn is in the first house, you have to be very careful also about how you earn or gain money. If you are adopting unfair means, then Saturn will definitely punish you someday, because Saturn is the planet of karma, and a person will definitely have to pay for his or her karma someday or the other. So Saturn is aspecting again your 11th house also. If it is placed in the first house, it is aspecting your 11th house. So you have to be very careful about how you are earning money. That is, you have to remember with what kind of people you mix up, or who are those people, you know, or whom you maybe meet on a certain basis, or people who are in your social circle. What kind of friendships you have, Saturn will have an aspect on that also. So you also have to choose your friends carefully. Yes, so all these things. Now friends, let us go to Saturn's last aspect, which is the 12th aspect. So the 12th aspect of Saturn, it is considered to be 20 to 25% effective or strong. Aspect the house of your sleep, even bed pleasures, the house of your loss. 12th house is the house of loss. How you are spending your money, how you are losing, that is, loss means you are expending, no? What kind of expenditure you are doing, in what kind of work. Saturn is now going to aspect that. 12th house is also the house of donation and charity. So are you engaged in spending money in, are you spending money in some donation? If you are doing so, then Saturn is the planet of justice. Saturn will reward you. Are you donating money? Are you donating something? Whatever you can, no? Are you giving some donation to the poor, needy, weak, sick, unprivileged? Are you doing that? To the poor, old, weak, sick and unprivileged. So Saturn will definitely keep an eye on that. So you have to be very careful. If you are donating money, if 12th house is the house of expenditure, anyway we have to spend money. So make sure that you spend money also for a good cause. Then Saturn's aspect is there, 12th aspect will be there on the 12th house. So that aspect, because that aspect is there, Saturn will definitely reward you someday. It is the planet of justice. So whatever you do, for others, that you will receive also. Whatever you give out to the universe also will give it back to you. It may take some time, but it will come. Because Saturn is a planet which teaches us to be patient. We have to be patient. Yes, we have to believe in patience and perseverance. So that is what. So that is Saturn's 12th aspect. So friends, that means if Saturn is in the first house, we have to be careful about all these matters, because Saturn will have all these different aspects on different house. Different houses means different areas of our life. So we have to be very careful so that, Lord Saturn is pleased with our actions, because Saturn believes in actions, karma. So if Saturn is pleased with our actions, then in due course of time, Saturn will definitely reward us. So friends, do subscribe to my channel and share this video. Thank you so much.